Welcome everyone to Evony Throne Time with Veery. We are making the fourth episode now, and this episode here is just going to cover some of the basics. We have the killing event starting later this evening, and I'd like to go over some of the things that most people miss prior to starting the event. And so it's always a good idea to kind of have a checklist of things that you need to do before KE starts. The big one is bubbling. Put a shield around your keep. If you do not plan on starting KE by porting around and trying to scout or attack other keeps, placing a bubble on your keep is very important. So the first thing I'll do here is do that. We'll do City Buff, and we will scroll down to Truce Agreement. And for right now, I really don't plan on participating the first day, so I'm going to use a 24-hour Truce Agreement. And there we go. I've got a nice little shield around me, can't be attacked. My sub-cities cannot be attacked, and we're good to go. The next thing we'll go into is my keep. Now, this is probably the number one thing outside of not bubbling that I've experienced other keeps when I attack them are missing. And it's crucial because you can get wiped out, zeroed, vamoosed, whatever word you want to use, if you do not do one thing, and that is your wall general. A lot of people have a different wall general during the week, and mine happens to be Shahar. We're going to scroll down to Shahar here. Shahar has a nice little 100% food buff in the main city, which is protected as a defense general, but she will certainly not protect you if you get attacked. So we want to replace her with a wall general that will work. Currently, mine is Yisun Sin. I will put him on my wall. Yisun he's a good little monster. He does his fair share of protecting my keep, although it's not very often I do get attacked because I have a high troop level, but nonetheless, this is the number one thing you want to do outside of bubbling is put a defense general. Very, very important. The next thing you want to do is check your presets. You have 3, 4, 5 presets that are available to you. I use number 1 as my boss, so I never attack unless I scout someone who has just a boatload of a boatload of ground in their keep, and their archer and cavalry is ghosted or killed already. But 99% of the time, I never use Roland or my boss March to attack anyone. I do have Alfred. He's my number 1 guy. I do use Minamoto. He's my number 2. And on those other rare occasions, I will use Scipio. He is a beast when it comes to ground. As long as he's set up right and you do the proper scouting of a keep prior to putting him on a march, he's going to take care of business for you. So you want to make sure all your presets are correct. Okay, throughout the week, we all go through the events and train more troops, gather more food and resources and everything that's involved there. And when that happens, you may not be maximizing your preset by the end of the week because you have now more troops. And if you trained high-level troops, you'll want to add those to your march based off a percentage that a lot of people use. Could be 75, 10, 10, 5, or 75, 15, whatever that percentage may be. But when you start adding more troops to your keep during the week, you're going to want to definitely make some changes in your presets so you're stronger on the next attack that you do. I'll post a separate video on what I personally use for both attack and defense, and look for a future video for tactics on how to trap people, how to effectively replace traps quickly, etc., etc. But I won't get into that much right now. We want to focus on what we need to do prior to KE starting. So make sure you have your presets redone based off the soldiers or troops that you've trained throughout the week that may make a considerable difference in your attack march. Let's see here. Make sure, let's get all these resources real quick. The wall, make sure your archer tower, it does have somebody in there. You know, you want as much protection as possible. My guy stays in there the whole time. If you're lucky to get Ban Chow, put him in there. You don't need refined gear on him. You just want him there for some kind of protection. I showed an earlier video that allows you to use a trick many of us use to exercise a general on a sub to increase his level as max as you can possibly get him. It's kind of a free thing to do. So check out that video, and to level up your generals here and put him as a duty officer and get him to the highest rank you can within the duty. Like this one, he's a special tower officer, which means I get the max duties. We can click on this left button here, this information button, and you can see I'm getting archer tower attack of a plus 150%. So I'm well protected with Ban Chow. Let's see here. Some other things. You want to make sure also you're updating as long as you have the production boost. I've got them on all 4 of mine. You want to do that daily. You want to keep that siphon coming in with all the resources. If you are able to upgrade anything like a war hall, a rally, the embassy, anything war-oriented prior to KE, or at least set those goals a week, 2 weeks, 3 months out to hit a certain goal, that's really going to help you during PvP, SVS, KE, anytime you need to battle. If you are just primarily a farmer, then you can be a great resource or support mechanism for the ones that do fight within your alliance. We that fight lose a lot of resources, and it's always nice to have a brother in the alliance that can help with resource support from time to time. That's about all I have right now. Just make sure you're bubbled. You do put the correct general on there. That is the number one thing that people forget to do. Make sure you do buff. I always buff from my main map screen where my keep is. If you're going to be making some attacks, then you're going to want to put on this march size capacity, all troop attack, the all troop defense, and then the HP as well. I did forget one thing. You want to go back. It's really important, no matter how many gems you have, maybe you have some tributes, but you do want to go to the shrine and you want to make an offer. In this case, I've made 2 offers of three times now. So 6 times I've offered. I have not maxed out. I'll just kind of show you. I have, 6 or 7 blue dots there, but if I offer 4 times, you'll see on the left side of my flag there, it is increasing the number of light blue dots. Once you reach 20, I believe it is, then you'll get all the buffs for the King's Protection. And that is a huge benefit when you're playing KE or SVS to help with attack buffs and defense buffs. So you want to remember to do that prior to every event that comes up where you're battling. I think that's about it. I just wanted to give you a short blip on what to do before you get into a killing event or SVS. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you like what you see. Feel free to shoot me any tips, advice, information that I could use to better my channel or the information that I provide here. And until next time, live life first and play Evony second.